Welcome to the next video of the series, Bring Your Family Together. I'm Gerald Eefting. Today, we're going to talk about stress. We're going to talk about times of crisis, COVID, times of change. You know, change occurs so much quicker than it used to. It just seems like it's happening over and over and quicker, whether it's globalization or technology or generational changes or the unforeseen crisis like COVID. There's always something happening. You know, you try to plan the best you can, but at times that's just not enough. You need to be flexible, you need to adjust or pivot even on the fly. So what is stress? It's a relationship we have with common and uncommon situations in life. It's what happens when demand exceeds our perceived capacity. There's two kinds of stress. There's acute stress and there's chronic stress. Acute stress happens when it's a very specific thing that's causing it. Chronic stress goes on and on and on. It's a longer term kind of stress. The unique thing is stress is contagious. Other people can catch it. Same thing with positivity. Positivity is also contagious. When you think about the day and times that we're in, stress is contagious. It's rampant. It's almost like the disease of COVID itself. Stress just goes with it. And the more we say we're stressed, or the more we act like we're stressed, guess what? Everyone else becomes stressed. It's like that concept of, oh, we're in a depression, we're in a depression, we're in a depression, or a recession, we're in a recession. If you say it enough times and loud enough, other people start believing it. Same thing with stress. How do you break stress? Well, if you're in a time of stress, you can always do those controlled breathing. You can feel gratitude and think of a better place or a better time. You could focus on the task at hand, and a lot of times that will reduce your stress or break that acute stress. To create energy and to get through that stress, you need to eat. A lot of times in high stress times, we lose our appetite, but you still need to eat. You need to move, sleep, rest, connect. Whatever it is that breaks that kind of that hold that stress has on you. Some people find energy in connecting with people. Others need to watch TV and have downtime. What is it that will re-energize you? Those are the things that will help break those stress moments. Is it okay to be in uncertainty? Is it okay to be uncomfortable? Is it okay to be in pain? You know, if we're in fear, and there's scarcity, is that okay to stay there? Do we look for a way to avoid change? With everything going on, do we look for ways to avoid change, or do we embrace change? Do we blame others for what's going on? Because it has to be somebody's fault. It's not my fault. It's got to be somebody's fault. And the question I'd have for you is, who am I, or who are you through bad experiences? Through those times of stress, through those times of uncertainty, when you're fearful or you're scared, who are you? Who am I through those bad experiences? What have we learned from the impact of crisis or of stress times? Once you know or experience something, you can never go back to being the same person. So once I give you some knowledge, or once I share some knowledge with you, you're never the same. You know it now. You've heard it. So you have to deal with it. You either ignore it and try to be the same, or you embrace it and you try to change. It's the same thing with times of crisis. It never leaves us the exact same. It doesn't change us, but it reveals who we are on the inside. It does change us from a point of view of actions later on. But the time of a crisis, it reveals who we are. It reveals what's important. We need to make conscious changes and choices. What about our hope, our resilience, our perspective, adaptability? Are we adaptable? Can we dance in the moment? Do we have the ability to be agile and adjust or pivot? You know, with today's technologies, you can learn anything you want at any time you want. You can Google just about any time, anything you want, and you can find it. If you think about the age of encyclopedias, and I remember growing up where we had probably 20 or 30 different encyclopedias, and they're all alphabetically arranged. Well, now Google's taken all that plus a whole lot more, and just on a simple touch of our fingers, we can find just about anything we want. We can be educated on anything we want. When we're in times of crisis, what's the bigger future? You know, a lot of times we lose our hope. What are the plans you had in place and now you need to adjust to move forward? COVID has forced us to look inside. We can't escape the implications or avoid the impacts. It's interesting, I said to look inside. Well, a lot of times we're stuck inside as well. Here's an exercise for you. What has COVID given you and taken from you? Grab a piece of paper, and if you want to do this later on, that's fine. But create two columns. What has it given you and what has it taken from you? So here's my response. What has COVID given me first? And it's unique for everybody, but I just created a list that maybe you'll resonate with. It's given time. Well, there's a lot more time that some of us have because we're not commuting or we're not going to work, etc. But it also given loneliness. It's given some people a feeling of being overwhelmed. It's given maybe more time with family. It might be giving you more work choices like remote, online, or office. It's given time to step back, to create, to give them some new thoughts, to build some new relationships. For some of us, it maybe has given us time to just breathe and relax. It might have given us challenges, new challenges to overcome. It might have given us more capacity for caring or for loving. It's definitely given people more streaming, Netflix and Disney and you name it, Amazon, etc., Amazon Prime, whatever it is. It has definitely increased online shopping, and it's given us some different experiences for sure. What has it taken? It's taken away hope for some, and it's increased fear. It has taken maybe a loved one, and if that's happened, my sincere sympathies. It may have taken a lucrative business. It may have taken personal finances away. It may have taken visions and dreams for a better future. It might have taken away the face-to-face meetings, the relationships. For some, it might have taken away a marriage. I've heard that there were more divorces and more separations during COVID than regular. It might have taken away, and for sure it has, some freedoms. It might have taken away lifestyle. It might have taken away connection with family, that face-to-face connection. It has taken away commute time for lots. And for some, it's taken away travel, both personal and business. And it's taken away convenience. Some other things, maybe in a bigger perspective, maybe it's given the humanity world consciousness, a community understanding of the bigger picture, a view of entitlement or privilege maybe. It might have taken away opportunities, taken away life events like graduations and weddings and funerals and births and parties. And definitely taken some children's schooling away, where there was online teaching and university adjustments or university online versus being there in person. And there's a lot of loneliness around that. So that exercise is pretty intense. What has it given, taken? It's a lot. So, but what do you take from it? What do you learn from something like that? Well, our journey in life is difficult and it never leaves us the same. When I think about COVID, we will always remember the year of 2020, and especially in North America. Each one of us is required to work through adversity in our lives. Sometimes it's COVID, sometimes it's losing a business, sometimes it's losing a partner, sometimes it's having children go through some very difficult times. We learn more from our challenges than our successes. What we learn defines who we become. What you learn defines who you become. What have we learned from COVID and the other crisis moments in our lives? If you look back about key events in your lives and maybe the difficult times, those stressful times, what did you learn? What have you learned through those times? And those are the things that you want to share with your family. Those are the things you want to share with your partner so that your wisdom gets passed forward. That kind of ends our time around stress, COVID-19. And I'm hoping that it ends our time with COVID-19 very, very quickly. It looks like it's going to linger for some time more. But I want to leave you with some closing thoughts. First of all, please do that exercise. What has COVID given you and what has it taken from you? And that's the action that I ask for you. If you want to discuss things further, if you want to discuss your family and some of the challenges it's facing, please reach out. How can I serve you? My contact information is there. And until the next video, have a fantastic day and stay well, stay healthy.